Hey everyone, welcome back to another Life and Drawing podcast. This is episode 17, and this episode is titled Angry Much. And so, just trying to think of what to talk about and why not anger. And so, certainly something that I've struggled with. Let me hit the stopwatch. 17 minutes, 13 seconds, starting now. So, yeah, angry much. So, first question I have for us: what makes you angry? Now, if you hear thunderclap in the background, we're currently having a thunderstorm. And so, yeah, if you hear that, that's not my superpowers. That's just nature. If you hear microwave sounds, that's from the microwave. So, what makes you angry? What are some of your pet peeves? Um, when I think about it, I feel like I have quite a bit. um, I probably I probably shouldn't have. I should be slow to anger um, and be temperate. But I have to be honest. That is not my default setting. That's not my default reaction, especially when I've been minding my own business and the contempt is brought upon me. So I have a hard time letting go and being slow to anger. Instances of that would be dealing with road rage. You're driving in your lane, you're doing the speed limit, and someone either just rides up behind you and just tailing you, or someone just cuts in front of you and for no reason, or just to go ahead and merge into the exit that they could have merged into just 10 seconds later if they just stayed behind you. And so, of course, when I was in elementary and high school, just students messing with you because they think they can, and I stuck to myself, other than my really good friends, and so I was fairly quiet dude, and sometimes, or many times, people mistaken quietness for being soft. And there were many times I had to dispel that misjudgment, you know. And honestly, many of those times I enjoyed it. There was one time I didn't, and this will flow into question number two. So question number one was just, what are your pet? What makes you angry? Like certain pet peeves, being triggered. What are your trigger buttons? like I said, for me, like driving is definitely one. Just um, being interrupted or annoyed or pestered. Um, that's that's another one as well. Uh, and so yeah. So what do you do? And I remember one time I was in I was high school. I think it's 12th grade or 11th grade, and one of my acquaintances. I can't really say friends. As you grow up and you get older, you you realize the differences. So just one of my acquaintances who happened to be one of my classmates took one of my pens, and there are several things I'm particular with, and pens are one of them. And so this guy takes a pen, and mind you, at that point, he's half my size, my height, but half my size, and so for him, he thought it was just, hey, a little game. I guess we're gonna take your pen, and I don't even know why, you know. It's, it's like, why are you messing with me, and um, so anyway, so he takes my pen, and I don't know how I know. I think someone, I think someone snitched on him and said, "Yeah, he has your pen." And so I go to him and say, "Hey, where's my pen?" This time we're in the at that high school. We had a changing room. Upstairs was pretty much where you would change. It was the dry changing room setting, benches, and then down the steps was where the bathroom commodes and a few showers were. So you go down, that's where you go down, use the bathroom, shower, and you come back up. And it's kind of weird because where you come up to the door, it leads right out to the court and whatever, the outdoor. And so anyway, so we're up on that level, and sorry, I stopped drawing. I talk with my hands, so I was literally moving my hands as I was trying to explain that. So anyway, I just, I asked him a few times. So I'm like, "Where's my pen?" And he's like, "I don't have your pen. I don't have your pen. I don't have your pen." And then I just picked him up by the shoulders, and I just lifted him up and slammed him up against the wall. And I was like, "Where is my pen?" And then he reached in, he got a little teary-eyed. He reached into his pocket, and he's like, "Here's your pen." And he threw it to the side on the floor. And I immediately, when I saw the, I don't know if I could say fear, but just, I guess the snap, I just got slammed into this wall expression on his face. I was like, oh, gee. I immediately felt, the Holy Spirit certainly convicted me there for sure. I was just like, oh, geez, man, it's just a pen. And so I felt really bad about that. And, and I think the next day, I don't know if that was like a Friday leading into the weekend, but whenever it was the next school day, I believe I apologized. I'm not sure if I did or not. I just remember I felt real bad because I was like, oh man, this is, this is, my acquaintance, my classmate. I should have conducted myself with much more poise than that, and I I utterly failed in doing that. So yeah. So what do you do when you when you've become angered, when you've become enraged? Do you lash out? Do you curse? Do you become physical? And I guess that all depends on the situation and the parties uh, involved. I've always had a very short fuse and hot temper, and I so that's just a bad combination. Just not a whole lot of patience, but a lot of fire. And so, uh, and my parents, I believe they truly did their best in um, corralling that as best as they can. I mean, they were disciplinarians, and so that definitely helped. I mean, I didn't like it in the moment, but I surely needed it. uh, so, because I probably wouldn't have been here, and I'm sure many of you or some of you can share that same sentiment. Um, yeah, I was a hothead, and so yeah. So what have you done when you've become angered, um, and have you regretted the actions that you took? And so, honestly, sometimes I would get frustrated at myself for not taking the action. So I don't know if that's the enemy saying, you should have done that. You should have lashed out. You should have showed him. You should have showed them. You know what you're made of. Um, so uh, I've had that too, where I'm like, oh man, I really should have showed them. And they would have never messed with me again. Um, but yet again, like I said, I probably wouldn't be here if I took that kind of approach. you know that that's not the most healthy long term approach to have. And so, um, third question: how do we avoid becoming angry and losing ourselves and losing our temper? You discover what makes you angry. You've reflected on what you've done when you've become angry. Now, how do we avoid? Not every, we're all humans. We're not going to um, avoid and be successful each time when dealing with frustrating situations or frustrating um, uh, what did I say? Individuals. If I said that, or frustrating situations, and if I said situations first, or just frustrating people, Um, and honestly, you know, one of my one of my thought processes is to just keep calm. Pause, take a breath, and if it's a situation where you could just walk away, just walk away. If it's something that you feel that you're being prodded into, someone's like, "So what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do?" Just walk away if you can, safely. because responding is not going to bring about anything worthwhile. And so just simply walk away, ignore, and keep it moving. And the more you do that, the more you develop that muscle of, you know what, I can just walk away. As much as my as much as my inner rage just wants to unleash, I'm just gonna walk away. And then you just develop that tolerance of stupidity and ignorance, and you don't fall prey to just lashing out, like an animal that doesn't have restraint. And so we have restraint, and it's important that we purpose to manage that restraint and not give in. Because the more you give in, the more difficult it becomes to just unleash. Not unleash. The more it becomes difficult to not give in to that rage monster that's living inside. So yeah, man. So that's what to do. Pause, take a breath, exhale, and walk away. And the more we do that, the more you'll see how you can just diffuse the scenarios and the situations that would make you become enraged. The pet peeves will still be there. The trigger buttons will still be there. They just won't resonate as much. And like I said, we're humans. So when we do give in, then they will resonate much louder. So, so angry much? If you are, I think just healthy. There we go. That's the timer. I think just healthy meditation. I'm a believer, so I am a believer. So meditating on scripture helps me. Helps calm my head and helps put me in the right perspective. And so that may work for some of you who are believers as well. And for those who are not, think of what's important. What's most important? Let's say if you have a family, spouse, your kids. Think of, okay, what's most important right now? Me lashing out with this person, scuffing it out. I don't know if that's really a fighting term, scuffing it out. But and is that worthwhile in the end? In the bigger scheme of things, is that really worthwhile? And once you can say no, then you just need to, as much as I really don't like the Frozen movie, you can just let it go and just move on. So with that, This has been episode 17. Thanks so much for tuning in to Life and Drawing. Make sure just take a breather on the highways and the byways. Don't get sucked into the road rage. It's so easy. So me saying that, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir because it is so easy to become inflamed and fragile, So, because honestly, we I don't want to be mean, but we do have some idiots out there, and you have to just be the bigger person and allow those situations to just roll over your back like a duck, like water on a duck's back, or water on a well-greased pan, or oil being poured into a cup full of water, and any other scenarios and analogies and synonyms and applications and whatever else. So thanks guys for taking time to listen to this. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's michelolully.com / sorry, my goodness, it's youtube.com / for YouTube. Make sure to calmly press the like button. Don't smash it in anger, but just press it calmly. Take a breath, pause, don't walk away. But you can walk away after you press the like button, gently, calmly. Make sure to also check out my Facebook page. It's facebook.com / Michelot Comics. And be sure to, I feel like I've been very soft-spoken. I don't know why. So hopefully my voiceover, and I stopped drawing. Hopefully my voiceover is not too soft. And then finally, to keep the lights on in the studio, go to patreon.com / Michelolully. It's my Patreon page. And so let's see if I can get up to 5 patrons. I'm at 2. So been steady at 2 for a while. Let's see if I can get up to 5 patrons. Alright, and like 10 subscribers. So let's make that happen, guys. Thanks so much for viewing. Have a blessed day or night, depending on when you're watching, listening to this.